first off, thank you to Jake Nielson for requesting this. And I was just thinking, you know, ever since the first time I've heard this song, I've always thought, like, wow, this is the best song that Daft Punk never wrote, right? Such a Daft Punk feel with the vocals and stuff and the production, which, of course, as the time I'm recording this, Daft Punk is just recently disbanded, which is depressing. But, you know, Daft Punk was a great band. I guess I just figured I'd throw that in. Anyway, so there's plenty of different parts here. There's plenty of clean stuff that we got to go through. I guess we'll just go through the riffs. There's really just all the distorted stuff, the distorted riffs, and then we can go to the clean stuff, and then the lead stuff, especially towards the end. There's a lot of electric lead stuff, and then the rest of it, the solo and whatnot. All right, so first off, that riff in the beginning, you may see me play it a couple different ways there, and then I played it, and then. So why did I do that? Well, because I think what they're doing, at least one of the guitars to me sounds like they're playing it open. So the riff is, you know, these are all just power chords, right? Everything's power chords, but the riff is just A, B flat, B. All right, so it was on the A string, this open, and then D, then back to B, and then A, then B. All right, so, but sometimes when I see them play it live, they're always playing it up here, right? Or they're doing the same thing, but they're going up here on the 10th of the E for the D chord, right? The riff's the exact same, it's just where they play it is a little bit different. I hear on the Shinola, I'm referring to the Shinola version, of course, that they're going with open. That's just what that's what it sounds like to me. But they could, if you know, it doesn't matter. If you want to go with the 5th on the E string, it's totally fine. But what I also want to make note of is the sort of ghost notes, the like open string notes that they like to throw in. So you notice there they're throwing a little bit of an A note, and that's why I kind of hear it as being this way on the album, because it's very easy to throw in that open A there. Where if you do it this way, you can still do it. You can still do that just fine, and that might be what they're doing, but it just feels more natural to me to do that with the open way. Of course, if you want to go. And they also like to throw in that open E there. Right? Yep. So this is just a little ghost note, whatever. And then there's, I guess, you know, the other, I call it a lick or whatever riff you want to call it. Right? So that's just, we're on the 7th. Alright, so on the G and D. Now, on the album version and a lot of live stuff, I see them just go, right? So they're not actually doing the pull off to the 7th on the D, but I like to throw that in there, and I hear them throw that in there a lot live. And it's probably in there a few times, at least a few times on the Shinola version, but it just feels very natural to do that. But, you know, if you just want to go, it still has that vibe of the riff. So then, and then, all right, so pause those, and bend up, whole step, then down, hammer on. You can throw in a little bend there. I think it sounds good, but I'm not sure if they're doing it, but you can, whatever. And then pull off there, and then the little chromatic walk up on the D, and then slide back down, and that's the riff. And then they do it an octave up near the end of the song, the outro, which is, it's up here on the 15 of the B, up on the B and G, 15B, and then 16, and I definitely like to pull off here to the 14 of the G here. You can also just go, right? And then just same riff, right? Only, you know. Alright. You know, move your finger there so you can pull off. And then, alright? Same riff, and they just do that at the end. Alright. That's basically all the electric kind of riffs. And then there's the clean stuff. So we're starting. So the chord he kind of plays for the whole verse of the song. And you want to make sure you loosen up your rhythm hand, right? You know. You want to basically keep the rhythm going the whole time, even when you're not playing, right? So you never stop. You know, you can throw in a little tiny pause here and there, as long as it just still feels percussive, right? So, right? But what he's playing is, this is definitely on the Shinola version, is what he's doing here. So this is 9 of the D, 7 of the G, and 10th of the B. And then he moves the same exact thing, but just pinky down 1 fret on the B. And then, right, sometimes he does that little move. Just move the pinky back and forth. And then live, a lot of the time he'll include that E string on the 10th fret, 10th fret. Right, so, but that's live, and sometimes you can hear him including that 10th, barring that on the G, on the E and B, right, with his pinky. You know, you can do that. It's just whatever, right? And then there's a whole bunch of clean electric lead stuff, and a lot of it might be synthesizer stuff, or it might be affected with like a digital like a digital like Digitech whammy pedal where he like puts it up an octave or something. I'll explain what I mean later, but there's definitely like some clean electric stuff going on here. So there's basically just a whole bunch of different fills. I'm not sure if I can cover all of them, but I'll try and cover all the ones I can remember and like know how to play. So it's just a whole bunch of them. And again, you can really go ahead and do a whole bunch of stuff live, but there's some cool stuff here. So there's 2 places you can play this one, but it sounds like this. Sorry. All right, so, and you can also play that up here. There's a lot of vibrato on this, on a lot of the notes he plays here, but you can play it. Sounds like it could be either, but you know, since you're in this area, it could be here. So, and it's also easier to play up here. So we're on the 7th and 9 of the, starting on the A here. Just chromatic walk up on the A and D. Then on the 7 on the D. And then just there. And then, alright, so, and then 9 on the A. And then end on that 9 of the G, and then put a lot of vibrato on that. And again, same riff here, just, you know, you're on the G, so it's a little bit different from fretting, but it's the same riff. Very, very fun riff. And then he also throws in some, like, you know, stuff like that. It's just, but then he also kind of does some stuff up here. A lot of this stuff sounds to me like it could be, and a lot of this is during the kind of break. It sounds like it's an octave up, so when I'm playing is actually an octave down. It could be a synthesizer, I doubt it, but it sounds really cool. So there's this lick here. It's basically your trem picking, starting on 11 of the G, right, and then climbing up the B minor, 12 of the G, sorry, then 10 of the B, 12, 14, 15, then bending up a whole step, I think, here, and 15, and then whole step bend on the 17. And then a little hammer on there on the 17 and 19 of the E, then B, and then he's going to bend up. He's going to add a lot of crazy vibrato to that as he slowly bends up on the whole step on that 17 of the B. I know this is kind of jumping around, but that's a lick he does in that sort of breakdown section. And another lick he does during the second verse, though, is he does again, he's playing in this area, and then he kind of jumps up here. Right, so this is, again, 17 and 19 of the E. Fun little lick. Alright, so hammer on. Then 14 of the E. Alright, so. And then a tiny little bend upwards there on the 15 of the B. And then it goes. Alright, so. (15, 17 on the B). And vibrato there at the end. Another lick he throws in the middle section that's pretty cool. It's basically he's playing around in this area. Alright, again, this kind of B minor area. Is he does something like this. Alright, so on your 10 and 12 of the D, and you can see where I'm playing, but you know. Alright, so right. This is just ideas. These are the basic ideas of the licks he plays that are just fills, right? And then, before we get into the solo, I guess, I might as well cover some lead stuff that he does at the end of the song. Again, I'm not using wah. Sorry, it just doesn't look good on the camera. I want you to be able to see what I play. Anyway, so what he does, there's two different lead electric distorted parts going on at the end of the song when there's the riff going in the background. Right? After the last chorus. There's this. So this is B, 17 of the E, and then same fret just on the A, then down, then it's gonna He's gonna make his way up there and then slide back down. And then there's a little like slide or pull off there to the fifth, and then right, so full step, and you're holding it, and then he's gonna sort of half bend it, and then right. So that's that part, and then the other part is a whole bunch of unison bends. So that's just of course we know what a unison bend is, but I'm gonna be using the G string for the reference as to where it is. Alright, so that's basically it. So we're on the 9 of the G, then 12, then 11, and then 12 again. Alright, and then he holds that one last time after the does that one last time. Right. That's pretty much all the other stuff. Now it's all that's left is the solo. All right. So after the riff, the guitar tone's very. It's got a lot of echo. It sounds very fuzzy and whatnot. Sounds to me, you could do this. You could just hold the B note and then slide it down. So you could do it on the 14 of the A, or you could do it on. You could also just do it where you ended the riff on the 9th of the D. But I like to do it. It sounds like it's on way up here on the 19th of the E for me. You don't have to do that, but that's why I like to start it. And then slide back down here on the B note on the E string, 7th fret. And then he's gonna bend up half step to this note. And then he's gonna do a whole step on the 5. And another whole step on the 7. And then he's gonna go just play D, 7, and 9. And then he's gonna, what I like to do here to sort of simulate starting off on the lower note is to start there and sort of slide up and make a big bend on the next fret. But yeah, start on the... Alright, so whole step on the 9th of the G, and then make her wait, hold that. Little, you know, sort of step to step and a half bend on there, and then all right, so so hammering on and pulling off there, and then hitting it, and then B note on there again, and we start over again, and then it's gonna make his way up to here, and then he's gonna make it all the way back up here, but the rhythm of the hammer-ons is a little bit different, right? So yeah, even add a little bit of vibrato at the end of that. And he makes his way up here. From what I can tell, he's basically just pulling off to an open string on the 10th and 7th frets of the E and B. He does that 3 times, and then he... Alright, so on the G, up to 11 from the 9. And then chromatic from 12 to 10. Alright, so... so then chromatic walk down. Make your way back there. Then he's gonna climb his way up. Alright, so just like climbing up the pentatonic scale. There's gonna be a little bend there. And then he's gonna do double stops. This is the minor double stop, 11 and 10 of the G and B. Then move it up one fret, up one whole step, I mean. Then down. And then he's going to sort of alternate back and forth. It's the one fret up on the G, but the B note stays the same. Right? So, and I like to sort of do that with my first finger. And then you're gonna be trem picking this. And then he's gonna do this. He's basically just trem picking and like sort of randomly pulling off on the third of the B to the open. All right. And he's gonna play the 10th of the B. You also do this on the E, but I think he's probably doing it on the B. So you're trem picking. Alright, so making your way up the scale. Alright, and he's just going to alternating between this. And then he's going to go he's going to start playing it on the 14 of the E. He's going to do this, right? We're on the 14, 15, 17 and 14 of the E now. And then he's going to be doing right, so bending up there on the 17 of the B. And then full step bend. Alright, so and then a little half step bend there. And then add a little vibrato to this. And then so G, B, and then alright, so hammer on, pull off, and then chromatic walk down to D12, so, and then sort of like to slide down here to 9 of the D, and then make G string 7, 9 is going to do a whole step bend. You do up, but I'm going to do down so that I can do this tapping on the 12th fret. And hold that and just tap it. So it's going to fluctuate it, so you know, bending sort of back down there. And he sort of stops doing that, and then he's going to go. He's going to just sort of do some. Right, so. Just make your way down there, chromatic walk down. and then I sort of end it on that 7th of the A, and then slide down, and then pick, hammer on, pull off, and end it on that B note on the 7th fret of the E. And that's it. I know this was a long lesson, but I just wanted to make sure I included as many parts as I could. And there's a lot of licks in there for the clean thing where it's kind of buried, but they're just so cool. They're not quite buried, but it's just neat. But yeah, thank you for requesting this. I have a great time playing this. Thank you for watching.